myself. I'm just happy to be here. You know, we back for part 2 with my guy Bubba. You know, he was already here, so we're on a first name basis now. Grand Digital Media got an event coming up. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy because getting all the creators to come together. What is that? They can you might form a Voltron while you're there. You don't know. You might meet the other creation Power Rangers to your Power Ranger crew.
That's the goal.
And you might, you know, who knows? And that's what we always wanted to do here, was have different creators run into each other. One day we had Chemist and that dude Biggs and DK and just all these people, Splashy, all these people showed up and ran into each other. It was a beautiful thing. Actually, Chemist and DK working together came from them showing up here. And I love that because that's what I want to do.
That's amazing.
But with that said, we're here to talk about what's coming up in September. We're here to talk about what could be one of the cooler events to hit Des Moines in a long time and could really reap some fruit, could really get something out of this, because I love the idea of people who are just trying to figure it out, coming together and being willing to share thoughts, ideas, and just overall, you know, opinions on what drives them so that people can find other people that they relate to. So yeah, we got my guy Bubba in the building, Grand Digital Media. We here to talk about the event. We here. Thanks, man. Thanks for staying. Because I would say thanks for being here, but you're still here.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for staying. But this event worth talking about.
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm excited.
So,
I'm excited.
Let's go ahead and just kind of, first go ahead and give them the details real quick, just where it is, when it is. But then let's talk about the idea. How you even came up with the idea.
Okay. So the event it's called the Grand Digital Creatives Meetup, and it's going to be at the Jamie Hurd Amphitheater on September 6th from 1:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m.
Very cool. Very cool. So now, kind of, before we even tell people what it is really, where did the idea even come from?
Honestly, for me, the idea came from, I recently went to Cali, like you guys heard about on the last episode, but being out there and seeing how many people were working together, how much there was, we were on Venice Beach, and just the amount of creators and creativity that was just there when I was there was absolutely inspiring and amazing. And while I was in Cali, I was, you know, on the Cali algorithm and all that fun stuff. So I got a bunch of stuff letting me know, hey, there's a LA-based meetup, there's a Venice-based meetup, all these different meetups for creators to just come and have a good time. It wasn't for, oh, we're going to meet up and shoot a bunch of content. It wasn't for, we're going to meet up and do this specific thing. It was for all forms of creators. You know, it was to bring a bunch of people that knew a bunch of stuff about a bunch of stuff and didn't know a bunch of stuff about anything, you know, together, if that makes any sense. And I think it could be a really good event. I'm really excited. I started rambling, my bad.
No, listen, that's what we're here for, man. So ramble away. So you're the star of the show. So why don't we tell people what it is? Kind of the simplest form, and then kind of delve into it. So if I was going to tell somebody, hey man, you definitely want to be at this Grand Digital Media event because, and I was to give them one line, kind of putting you on the spot a little bit, but what should I tell them?
One line, I would say, if you're somebody who wants to create or learn about creating, this is an event not to miss, because I'm not even
now we're going to go into the because, but perfect. So if you're a creator, or you're looking to get into the creation world at all, this event is not one that you are going to want to miss. Now, tell us kind of what it is.
So for me, when I was out in Cali, the way, like how I said it came about, was all these different meetups were happening. And I see that there are things here going on in the city, but nothing that's just 100% free or organic, nothing that has kind of built itself up in a sense. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's a lot of stuff that's already happened here, you know? And I feel like with that, to me, I was always nervous to go to these events. I was scared. I felt
and let's be honest, a lot of these events are about how much money can be made.
Exactly. And that's my thing. It really is. And I understand, you know, I appreciate, you know, that. Yeah, exactly. And it's just, for me, I feel like I want to miss that gap. I don't want to make any direct income or inflow from it. I want to grow my business, you know, by the name of it. And I'd like to potentially, you know, grow sponsors, you know, just get people to get out there, to be interested in bringing more creators together and being willing to put up, you know, location or food truck vendors, stuff like that, in order to just support the local creative community. There's also going to be a lot of like small businesses there with some quote unquote street vendors. The main reason is just in the grass. I just don't want to call them street vendors because they're not on the street. But they're going to be there selling a bunch of stuff. Anything from, if you guys know who RPM is over in the Drake neighborhood, Rogue Planet Music, they're going to be there selling a bunch of stuff. I have C-Rob selling his merch. So there's quite a few vendors. There's a lot more, but Yeah, I think that. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
So we're
sorry. This is the first time I got nervous the entire show.
The cool thing is that we can edit it out.
Hey,
but I might not because I do like
organic, man. I'm cool with that too. 100%.
No, listen, it's a very broad event. I can totally understand. It's got to be a little difficult to put the scope of the entire event into a single conversation. So I understand that. So gonna have some vendors. So gonna probably have some music, things like that. So just kind of what people can expect, what the day can look like, and then the goals.
Yeah. So to start, we're gonna have a couple of keynote speakers. As of right now, I know for 100% Nia Elizabeth will be speaking there.
Shout out.
I'm hoping B-More will come too. I'm actually the artist, if anybody knows who he is. He's super huge. But I actually am doing a documentary with a guy to basically raise awareness for colon cancer for older Black males.
Yeah, that's how I lost my pops. So
I actually just lost a family member I think it was 2 weeks ago from that. And it was literally the day after I got the gig. So I'm like, wow, the universe is working. You know what I mean?
For sure. It never stops.
Exactly. And for me, like he told me that with like when I explained it in the event and everything after I stopped rambling and he understood, he was like, this sounds really cool. I think this is something he could be interested in. So he reached out to him. I'm kind of just waiting to hear back from that. But either way, even if he doesn't show up, Nia Elizabeth is amazing. And she will be the keynote, worst case scenario. But I'm also just going to have her speak regardless. I'll speak, she'll speak. Hopefully B-More will be there and he can be the keynote speaker and speak as well. We're going to have a lot of performers. As of right now for the lineup, I have Unique Vibrations.
Man,
I love them. They're amazing. They're really going to come out. I'm talking to them. They were going to originally open, but I think I'm going to talk to them about actually headlining and closing out the show because they absolutely get me going. I think that it'd be amazing to have a bit of a better crowd there for them and for them to really inspire people. Literally, when I sat in their basement in Styx's grandpa's basement and they were playing, I got goosebumps and instantly
I love
inspiration.
Those guys, and I've never shied away from that. I just love the music they make. I just enjoy the vibe. We talk a lot about vibes, so I'm a big fan of those guys for sure.
Yes, sir. And then I'm gonna have actually it's kind of a theater performance. I shot a album rollout campaign for a gentleman named Dracula. He's local in the city too. He does a lot of stuff. He goes by Drac, but it was for Stockholm Graveyard, and the entire album concept was zombies. Me, I started out making zombie movies and short films. My goal is to make a zombie movie as big as like The Day of the Dead or a show as big as The Walking Dead when it comes to that stuff. That's just personal. But so he had me do this entire rollout for him. And so we do an intro, we do 4 music videos, and then we do an outro. So what I'm going to do is on the stage, I'm going to have him perform the intro. He's kind of kicking a zombie head, all that stuff. I'll save the details. And then he's going to go into performing those 2 music videos live on stage with all the props and all that stuff. And then he'll have an outro as well with all the props and all that fun stuff, which I kind of just thought would be a cool live performance.
I love that.
I'm hoping to have 2 poets. I still haven't found anybody yet. So if there's anybody out there interested, I'm looking for all sorts of poetry. I think poetry is an amazing outlet, whether it's haikus or whatever. Honestly, I think that would be amazing. I'm going to have a Christian rap artist hopefully there as well. His wife hit me up yesterday about the event.
Well, that's the other thing. It's a living and breathing thing.
It's consistently growing. So I literally just posted the event. What was it? Yesterday, I think it was.
So this is also a call to those who may want to be involved.
Yeah, honestly, anybody out there that wants to do performing, we are going to have as of right now, I think I still have 2.5 hours of the stage open. I do know I want to save the last 30 minutes for open mic for anybody that's there that wants to get up there and just tell their story.
Would love to do a 15-minute live podcast or something up there with the right people.
Dude, yeah.
With the right people, it could be maybe a small business, with the John Martins of the world or certain people. Yeah.
We should do that.
Alex, guys
That'd
who have
amazing,
built businesses here. I would love to MC that for sure. But also, we'll talk.
That'd be
absolutely.
Sick.
Absolutely. So I think it's a very cool idea. I do.
100%.
And I think I do think that we kind of talked a little bit off camera about gatekeeping and things like that. It's pretty standard. I don't think it's really unique to any specific place. It happens in the construction industry. It happens in
whatever business you're in.
If you write books, there's all authors who don't want you to get so that's just a thing. But when you bring people together that can share real world data, like we talked about, there's nothing more valuable. You know what I mean? It's like anybody can, the Gary V's of the world are great. you know, and we can all sit here and listen, and it's valuable. They have stuff to say.
Right.
But when you can go amongst your peers, all at different levels for sure, where we've all got to different places, but we're all peers in a way. And when you can get around those people and kind of feel the vibes, feel the positivity that should come from this journey, because it's incredibly difficult to try to create genuinely, because if you're not chasing the dollar, like, you're just different.
Yeah.
And an event that is free, that's meant to bring people together, clearly has a little bit of a different motive or moral compass than, you know, and I really think there's going to be value in that. So I really hope to see a lot of people come together to be involved in the event. I think it would be dope.
I'm really excited. It's something huge to me. I told myself last year that I was going to throw an event, and it was going to be an event focused on me and rolling out a feature film of mine, a couple of short films, stuff like that. But I don't.
Improv would be cool too.
Yeah, improv would be amazing. I really do want to get some comedians up there. I know a few people, but they're really busy. So also comedians. If I'm still looking, this isn't until September.
No, absolutely. That's what. That's the very. Call. We're putting out the call right now in this episode.
Let us know
for people to check it out who might want to hit you up to. You know,
100%.
Absolutely.
And
so brands, all that stuff.
I think setting up an event like this in the matter of 3 months is kind of crazy, but I think it's doable. I'm really excited to hopefully inspire and prosper growth and inspiration in the creative community, while also bringing support to the creative community as well as small businesses. All the vendors' fees are, like, the food truck vendor fees paid for, everything's paid for. So everything that will be paid for at this event will go directly to that local business or to the local shops and suppliers. I won't be making nothing. I'm hoping to get some of the performers paid, but a lot of them are coming onto the event just to help out, which I really do appreciate, which means a lot. But yeah, I really, really want to. I completely skipped over this entire part. The main reason that I came up, the main reason that I came up with it was I wanted to be able to give people a way to express themselves creatively without knowing that that's how they want to express themselves creatively, if that makes any sense. So we're going to have, like, creation stations, in a sense, is what I'm calling them. And there's going to be one where you paint little magnets that are on canvases. There's going to be another one where my buddy Sight Lives, he wants to get into, like, graffiti shirts and stuff. So he's going to be doing free graffiti shirts there as well. So
I love that.
And then there's going to be, we're going to have a huge whiteboard from Borg. He's actually doing some art stuff right now. He's a filmmaker in the city. He's super cool guy. I love that dude. But he's going to hopefully be doing a Inspire board there for people to color in and fill out, as well as we're going to have a couple of other things going on too. But yeah, that's a big thing.
I love that. I love that.
And then I'm really hoping to help people that want to get into it learn, or people that are scared to learn. So what I've done already is gone through these different creative expressions. So there's art, there's filmmaking, photography, culinary, sorry, cosmetology. Gotcha. Cosmetology, and then just building a brand. So I went through and I did a bunch of research, looked up, like, a bunch of free podcasts that are worth listening to help with these creative outlets, as well as free online courses. Exactly. And then there's a bunch of YouTube channels that will also help you grow. So when you come to the event, you just scan the QR code, or you just take a flyer with you. You scan it. It'll open up to this active Canva link page, and all those links will already be there. You click on it. It'll take you exactly what you need to do. The courses are free. Some of them are paid for more, like, advanced courses, but you can learn anything on there. And that's what I really want to do, is I really want to help a lot of people that are nervous or scared to do it, just do it. And if you're somebody who can't come out to these events and do that stuff, if you can get use of these QR codes and that can help too, that's all I want. You know Absolutely. What I mean? That's so the creative expression tables and then the flyers were the reason I was doing the event. The event kind of organically got bigger from there and turned into, like, well, we need performers. And then it was, because the original spot was just going to be at the Grays Lake Terrace. And we were just going to do a small little event, maybe 4 vendors, stuff like that, 2 performers, but they were closed. And they were like, oh, we're closed for the next year. And I was telling all my peoples about this, like all my friends and all these creative community people that I mess with and truly trust their vision and their judgment. And they instantly told me, make it bigger, do something big. You know, this could be a real big thing. So it kind of, and then they started offering being in it and how they could help me out. And you know, C-Rob has really helped me out. He's actually doing flyers and I'm hoping to get him on stage as well. He's going to be selling merch there. So that's really cool. But yeah, I think that I lost my train of thought again, dude. I'm so sorry.
No, you're just talking about the people involved and helping out and who's helping you get it together. You're talking about C-Rob specifically. Yeah. Where were you?
Okay, cool. So C-Rob, he's going to be doing a lot of helping me with that too. But Gabriel Cox, Nasty Beats.
He's actually friend of the show. He's been here twice.
I love that guy. He actually married to my cousin. He's super
a good dude,
cool.
Man. Good dude.
He's going to be sponsoring all the sound equipment and stuff, which is amazing. Because as you all know, sound equipment costs a lot, even if it's just to rent.
Absolutely.
So that is amazing. Another thing is every single bit of music that's played there, whether it's background music, whether it's just intermissions, whether it's while someone's talking, is all going to be music that's locally created, whether it's EPs, albums, just beats, or, you know, symphonies, whatever. It's all going to be local. We don't want, like, not in a mean way, but we don't want to play mainstream stuff here because that's not who it's for. You guys know who Snoop Dogg is. Y'all know who Slipknot is. You know what I mean? You want to help people learn who the people are here, and that's it. And if that's just even getting a beat into someone's head, it's like, this is amazing. I need this. You know, we'll go talk to this guy. You know what I mean? And another thing is we're gonna have a welcome table where you first come in, you'll sign in and everything. We're not asking for too much, just a name or a brand and an Instagram handle to tag you in and kind of grow and help everybody else learn who you are. You know, but there's going to be name tags. Not of names, but of different occupations. So if you're an artist, it'll say artist. If you're a filmmaker, it'll say filmmaker. If you're a director, you know, it'll say that, and so on. So it can kind of organically help the networking. That way, if you're somebody who's looking for a model, you know, for a photo shoot, and you're over here talking to this guy who just, just does streaming, or that doesn't, you know, streaming's cool. We actually have sorry, I completely spaced this. I'm gonna go back to the flyers.
You're killing it, man.
I have one for the flyers. I have one for streaming too, because I think streaming is a really big art form and it's getting really huge right now. So I also have one of those. But yeah, so I think what was I saying before that? My bad.
You were saying everybody was going to have, you know, tags of kind of
yeah. So basically, to help the networking organically happen,
makes sense.
Help it flow a little easier. Also, the first 30 people will get these tiny cameras that like do flashes and noise. It's kind of cute and cheesy, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited.
Definitely don't undersell it, because it's hard to put together an event.
Yeah.
It's much harder to put together a free event.
Yeah, I'm learning
It's even harder to put together a free, impactful event. So, I mean, what you're doing is incredible, man.
I appreciate that.
And honestly, I totally understand, because, like, I think all the time, like, if someone wants to be on-air talent, how are they going to be able to go somewhere and know that?
Right.
So in my mind, it would be so cool to be set up and be like, let's do a 5-minute newscast.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah,
you want to be a baseball announcer? Let's do 5 minutes of that.
Yeah.
You know, have a TV behind you so you can put anything behind the person and give them something to talk about, you know?
Yes, sir.
That could be very cool. So I actually love the idea of people being able to kind of meet other people who may not even want to do. The thing is, there's a lot of people, I feel like, when they hear creator, they think everybody's the same.
Yeah.
Everybody's just somebody who wants to be this close to a camera and have words and colors over their head, or they all want to like just TikTok or whatever. Like nothing against TikTok at all, but I'm saying
100%.
like you're almost like TikToker isn't a thing.
No,
you're a creator.
You're a creator.
You know what I mean? But they think everything is just these short form. When
content,
lots of short form, but there's 3 minutes, there's 90 seconds, there's a lot of different things. And I think what will be dope if you bring everybody together is that people will be able to see like a podcaster will be able to meet a director.
Yeah.
And a director will be able to meet a videographer. And a videographer will be able to meet a model. And a model will be able to meet an artist, like a painter.
Exactly.
And a painter will be able to meet a rapper. And a rapper might meet a singer. And a singer might meet a podcaster. Mm-hmm. And I just really think that's super cool. And I think that's kind of at least to me, that's kind of what drew me to it, because if done correctly, an event like that can really bear fruit for the people that are going.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't really buy that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if I pay for a ticket to go to somebody's concert, that's awesome. There's it's for them though. Mm-hmm. And I support that artist and I want them to have tons of fruit.
Right.
That's amazing. Rarely is there an event that you can go to where you can leave with a basket of fruit. Right. And I know the people who are smart enough understand this metaphor. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you can leave with something. You know, something that's actually valuable.
That's, I feel like, the overall goal is for every single person that leaves to take something away with them, whether it's knowledge, whether it's a piece of clothing from a small brand or a local business, you know, whether it's connections. That's the main thing, is really getting people connected, like you were saying. But yeah, it's definitely an event that has a lot of different working parts and a lot of different things that are still organically happening, while also are truly, I feel like, can really help the city in general, like everybody here. And going back to like the creators thing, I think like there's a fine line between creator and content creator, you know, and I want to kind of miss that content creators gap and make it just creatives, you know, meetup. You know, I want people that like you said, do art, do filmmaking, do photography, every single art form. If you're somebody who just freeze dries candy and you put a logo on it or you cut them into, you know, that's art. You know, we were put on this earth to make art, you know. That's all there was to it. Like, that's all there is to it. We were here to create. And every single thing. Skateboarding is an art form. You know what I mean? Like, it truly is.
Yeah, it makes me think of, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, This Is the End.
Yes, I love that movie.
But yeah, when he's James Frank, they're talking and he's like, oh, you don't like art? He's like, you ever been to Subway?
That's art.
They put the sandwich together. That's art.
That's so true. Yeah,
but it's kind of like what you're saying. Like, everything is art by definition, you know, or by perception.
I think for me, it's definitely by perception. I think definition, everything is art. Obviously.
Because that's what I mean. Everything is,
you put everything together. But like perception, if you think about it that way, you're just going to consistently understand the world is a beautiful place. And no matter what you're doing, if you see how people are doing something, I love watching a movie. You know, I hated Madam Web. You know, it was a bad movie. I still watched it, and
a bad movie.
I commend the people that created it, and I commend Sydney Sweeney for sticking to it. Dakota Johnson. It's just not. Yeah, it's just not good. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna bash that movie. I'm still gonna, I still went and watched the movie. It's just something that I don't know. I feel like for me, support is needed, even if it's bad. You know what I mean? Because and it may be like constructive criticism support. You know what I mean? But you still need that stuff to grow.
Well, because and somebody still took the leap.
Yeah, exactly. It's their art. It's their craft. That's their baby. And you're just going to straight up shit on it is not cool. You know what I mean? So
for sure. There's definitely a way to be a critic.
How can you come to somebody respectfully and be like, hey, I think we could do this, or hey, this is constructive criticism. You know, Rotten Tomatoes does that, whatever, but I don't always trust the ratings there.
For sure. But there needs to be checks and balances though, because you do need critics as well, because sometimes there are situations where maybe you shouldn't support something.
No,
you
100%.
shouldn't put your money behind something because they didn't do good.
Yeah.
Like the effort wasn't there or something. Sometimes critics are necessary.
100%.
But it's
about how you perceive it.
Yes,
how
and do you take critiquing serious?
Exactly.
Because if you do, you're not looking to bash. You're looking to share,
grow, learn, teach. Exactly.
Yes.
And that's what the main thing is just learning, growing, and teaching.
The point of the event.
Honestly, that's the whole point of being alive, man.
It's like Woodstock for creators.
Exactly. Look, if we could have a Burning Man, we would burn it. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Honestly. It's gonna be cool though. I'm really excited. Like I said, performers, street vendors, there's gonna be a food truck there, a bunch of creative outlooks. We're gonna have a little bag station where you just play bags, just to have fun.
Absolutely.
Just have a good time. Enjoy yourselves. I'm really hoping to prosper growth and inspiration and support. That's the goal. I want to inspire people. I want to support people and have other people support people. And I want to just see people out there creating. My goal is to see people out there that I don't know. I want to be able to look out there and be like, I don't know that person. That's good. That means that this event itself is organically grown. And that means that person there is a creative of some sort, or they want to support the creative community in local businesses.
And if there's anybody looking to start a podcast, let me know.
Yeah. It's look, get some tutorial videos going, man.
For sure. No, a lot of times it's just not even realizing that the ability to do these things is there.
Yeah.
There's people who want to be podcasters or something, and might not even know that there's a studio that's looking for people who want to do podcasts.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So a lot of times it's just not knowing. You might want to be in a movie, but you don't know that there's directors here
that are looking to do a movie.
that are looking to do a movie.
Exactly.
So somewhere you got to connect those people.
That's what I want to do specifically in Iowa and the Midwest in general, honestly. Like, it's a very, I'm not going to say untapped market, but it's a very saturated market. Like, there's a lot of creators, but there's a lot of people who don't work. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, it's very, and I understand there's a lot of things going on. I think so too. I think that social media is a big thing to help.
We talked on the previous episode the positives of it. You can.
There's a few negatives there,
for sure,
but not like too much. It's more or less just
absolutely
over consuming content can make you think that you're awful. It can make you think that your stuff is trash. Absolutely. But if you look at their stuff and you're like, how can I make mine look like this, or how can I make mine improve to be like this? It just depends on how you perceive things in life. Absolutely. Honestly,
but I also think that's what makes the event cool, because the other thing about social media is it's flooded. Yeah. So you don't know who you're talking to or who you're meeting. So you can run into a director on social media. You can reach out to him. You can message him. You can do those things. But the difference between doing that and meeting them potentially in person and being able to have that exchange, it's not even close.
No, the connection is crazy.
Inundated with messages. They're getting just swarmed, and half of them aren't even real.
Yes.
That handshake, though, is real. So if you meet somebody at this event, that interaction is going to be real.
100%.
And I think that's incredibly valuable.
Yes, sir. And that's what I'm hoping for. Honestly, I'm hoping that people can just, as the event goes on, that people are just consistently working. And I'm hoping that I'm hoping a couple months after the event to see true growth within the people that were at the event, and hopefully to see more working together in the city. I really want to make sure that the event does something, and it's not just an event where people can come together and then that's it. I want the event to resonate after the fact. I want it to actually make an impact to the community and to the creatives of Iowa and the Midwest in general.
And I think that your investment in trying to keep the cost down, trying to get people involved, I think that really speaks to what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I'm fully in support of that, and I think it's going to get more and more exciting as we get closer to it for sure.
I appreciate that, man,
so
honestly.
Why don't you go ahead and remind people again the when, the where?
Yeah. So it's going to be at the Jamie Hurd Amphitheater in West Des Moines on September 6th from 1:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. It's completely free for everybody. Stop on by.
And where can they follow you to kind of see updates and kind of?
So as of right now, I'm posting updates on all my social medias. I have a Facebook event page, the Grand Digital Creatives Meetup. You can look it up. It'll pop right up. Or you can just go to my page at Bubba Staley on Facebook or Grand Digital Media on all other platforms, and you'll see it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So thank you for coming, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad you took the time to do this, kind of tell people all about it. I think it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. And I don't know, maybe we can even work something out.
I'd really like to. I'd really love to
get involved here. We're trying to do some cool stuff here as well. So
yeah.
But again, we got the man himself, Bubba Staley, whatever, Grand Digital Media. Man. We're just happy to be here. Big event coming.
Yes, sir.
The man, the legend himself was here.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, it was a good time, man. It was a good time.
Yes, sir.